I'd like to tell you about the most advanced reading instruction method ever developed. For many people, reading is a difficult and mysterious process, but here at Academic Associates, we take the mystery out of learning to read. The first step in learning to read is simple. Learn the sounds the letters make. Then you blend the sounds to form words and combine the words to form sentences and thoughts. After that, you evaluate and apply what you've read, and that's all there is to reading. So why do so many people have trouble learning to read? The problem most poor readers have begins with the very first step. They never learn all the sounds the letters make, or any of the rules for when they make those sounds. Most of the sounds and all the rules are omitted from every reading series used in schools. Yet they're absolutely crucial for students who are having trouble learning to read. Without knowing them, many students will never learn to read. But they're easy to learn when they're taught properly. And here's where the Academic Associates reading course stands out above all the rest. Let me explain. The brain is a wonderfully complex organ. It's capable of performing a wide variety of activities, but when it comes to reading, the brain is not naturally programmed for that. Reading must be learned. You see, reading takes place in a small, extremely specialized area of the brain. Most reading instruction methods completely ignore that area and try to teach reading to a part of the brain that is used for something altogether different. That area can't process language in any form whatsoever. On the other hand, when reading is taught to the correct part of the brain, it soon becomes an easily mastered skill. For 20 years, I was a very frustrated elementary school principal because so many of our bright students couldn't learn to read. Then a huge amount of new scientific evidence became widely available, and armed with that research, I began to develop a method of teaching reading that would be easy to learn for all students. The very first student I tried it on was a 6th grade girl who was struggling to read at 3rd grade level. In just 28 hours, she raised her reading level from 3rd grade to 8th grade and became one of the top readers in her class. Her parents and teachers were amazed. Some called it a miracle, others called it a fluke. It was neither. It was a simple matter of putting all the complex components of reading together in a logical, easy to understand format. Following that initial success, other students soon responded very much as that first student had. Some were taught individually or in small groups, while others were taught in regular school classrooms. They typically gained between 2 and 6 years in total reading skills after only 30 to 60 hours of instruction. We've taught many students with severe learning disabilities, yet regardless of their past failures or frustrations, they learn to read. The new method doesn't cure their disabilities, but it helps them to develop strategies for bypassing some of the damaged areas of the brain. The method incorporates an easy, step-by-step protocol that enables every student to learn to read. It works with all ages and grade levels, from kindergarten through adult. It also helps in spelling. It's taught in small, logical, sequential steps, each one building on all the others, something like building a block wall. As each step is explained, students respond and automatically begin to read. The goal of most reading programs is for students to be able to read from 200 to 600 words by the end of first grade. In our very first lesson, every student will read at least 300 words. This is a fantastic breakthrough. But that's just the beginning. Soon they're reading short stories and then some of the most difficult words in our language. The head reading specialist of a large school district stated that what we do in our very first lesson previously required almost all year for her class to accomplish. Unlike the reading instruction methods used in schools, our course is synchronized with the brain's neurological architecture. It's scientifically formatted to make learning to read as easy as possible, whether students are 4 years of age or 72. Progress is carefully tracked at the end of each lesson, so students are assured of steady, continuous improvement. At the end of the course, 2 standardized assessments are given to measure their overall performance, so you can see just how far each student has progressed. So you may ask, if this method is so effective, why aren't schools using it? Although most schools are still trying to teach reading to that part of the brain that can't read, some, including both public and private schools, have adopted the Academic Associates Reading course with stunning results. In Palm Desert, California, Patty Rouse's 18 first graders' average reading score was the middle of 4th grade. This is a truly phenomenal accomplishment. Now, this is in an area where, according to a special report in the Los Angeles Times, 80% of all students are seriously deficient in reading. These first graders read better than the average 4th grader. Listen to this first grader. I asked him to speak up so he could be heard. How old are you, Charlie?
6.
6, just a little over 6, about 6 1/4.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like to read, Charlie?
Yes.
What do you like to read?
Well, lots of books.
Lots of books. How many books have you read?
Past 100.
Wow. About 140 or 50?
Yes.
Every school could easily replicate Ms. Rouse's success. It's easy to learn for both students and teachers. Here's another school, this one near Boston, Massachusetts, which has adopted our method. The headmaster of the school said, "I knew the Academic Associates Reading course would be effective, but it has far exceeded even my most optimistic expectations." Other schools are also voicing similar enthusiasm. At Academic Associates, students are never embarrassed or blamed for their past difficulties. They are taught by competent, caring reading instruction specialists who've completed the rigorous training required of all Academic Associates teachers. Classes are scheduled at your convenience and may be conducted individually, or if you choose, in small groups. Here you'll find professional reading instruction specialists who've been certified to teach reading by the world's most effective method. In spite of what you may have heard, every child, as well as every adult, can learn to read. When you entrust your child or yourself to this Academic Associates Learning Center, you can be assured that that person will learn to read.